Biden's border smuggling paradise. The mainstream media is slowly catching on to the Open Borders Inc. racket. Just this past week, local and national news outlets reported that smugglers are using Facebook to advertise their services in blatant violation of Facebook's policy ban on human exploitation and trafficking. The news networks appear shocked that coordinated illegal activity is booming on Facebook, one of the world's biggest and most influential globalist platforms.
Only on 4, human smugglers are using a new route to America: social media. News 4 San Antonio's Alejandra Guzman continues our team coverage on immigration. She tracked the post down.
We came across these pages on Facebook, filled with posts like this one, saying totally safe, legal and illegal crossings into the U.S. Pay once you get there. Next trip to the U.S. is March 25th. You only have to walk 15 hours, and we can cross you through Sonora. Or this one, we can walk or drive you across. It's post after post on several pages promising to help bring people in from Mexico or any other place to the U.S. for anywhere from $3,500 to $8,500.
Human smugglers are turning to new methods in their search for victims. Smugglers are going on Facebook. They're advertising false services and promising Central Americans safe trips into the country. Many migrants are being led to believe they will be welcomed into the U.S.,
where we saw firsthand smugglers just openly advertising. They would advertise their prices. They would advertise, they would say a safe journey. They would show pictures of a family very comfortably sitting on a plane with masks on, saying this is a 100% safe journey. You don't need to pay the full price until you reunite with your family in the United States.
Facebook has been called to the carpet before for allowing users to engage in systematic human trafficking and particularly child sex exploitation. Missouri Republican Congresswoman Ann Wagner, who authored the Fight Online Sex Trafficking bill, grilled Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg about this back in 2019.
Child exploitation is one of the most serious threats that we focus on.
What is Facebook doing? 16.8 of the 18.4 million.
Well, Congresswoman, the reason those reports come from Facebook, the reason why the vast majority come from Facebook is because I think we work harder than any other company to identify this behavior and report it to Nick McKinnon
are you doing
and
to
the
shut
FBI.
this down? These accounts peddle horrific illegal content that exploits women and children. What are you doing, Mr. Zuckerberg, to shut this down?
Well, Congresswoman, we build sophisticated systems to find this behavior.
16.8 million and growing? Of the 18.4 images?
Well, Congresswoman, I don't think Facebook is the only place on the internet where this behavior is happening. I think the fact that the vast majority of those reports come from us reflects the fact that we actually do a better job than everyone else of finding it.
Well, don't break your arm patting yourself on the back there, pal. The fact is that Facebook, WhatsApp, which is owned by Facebook, and the rest of Silicon Valley's Open Borders Inc. co-conspirators have allowed ruthless coyotes and smugglers and their clients worldwide to communicate online and coordinate their journeys for years. How lovely. The International Committee of the Red Cross's WhatsApp alerts provides advice on how to avoid and prevent accidents, illness, and being separated from family members. The Notifica app, offered by the George Soros-funded United We Dream group, is also available on Google Play and the Apple App Store. It gives illegal alien travelers a help button to alert friends, families, lawyers, media propagandists, and others in case of detention or encounters with law enforcement. Make no mistake, this is not about compassion or tolerance. Open Borders Joe and his Silicon Valley pals are aiding and abetting foreign cartels who profit off funneling drugs, workers, and children onto our soil to the tune of an estimated $14 million per day.
These guys are having a field day. They're making $14 million a day in human trafficking and making probably multiple times that in illicit drugs.
Yep, there's nothing humanitarian about incentivizing Central American families to put their young children at the mercy of profit-maximizing coyotes. Those who abandon 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 10-year-olds wandering around in the desert are just pure evil. And those in the Biden administration, big business in Silicon Valley who facilitate this racket are complicit.
Tonight, the fear etched on that 10-year-old's face and the hurt in his voice. Can you help me? He asks a Border Patrol agent who found the little boy, that solitary figure wandering on a barren field near the U.S.-Mexico border in southern Texas. Through the tears, the boy explains he wasn't traveling with his mom or dad. He was abandoned, ditched, in his words, by the migrant group he was traveling with.
¿Vienes con tu mamá o tu papá?
Nadie. Yo venía en un grupo que venía de entrega con usted y al final me dejaron botado y venía aquí a pedir auxilio.
Sobbing, the boy telling the agent he was scared of getting robbed or worse, kidnapped.
Just think about the crazy and corrupt clown world in which we now live. Apps owned or backed by Facebook, Google, and Apple are aiding and abetting illegal immigration and human smuggling operations with impunity, while those same globalist companies have banned law-abiding free speech apps created by American companies such as Gab and Parler. Untold thousands of nationalists have been deplatformed for defending our homeland. Meanwhile, cartels and coyotes are allowed to exploit the internet to quench corporate oligarchs' cheap labor appetites. Who needs foreign enemies when blind worship of the free